Evan twisted the scrap tubing tight around the fractured irrigation line. Water sprayed in weak arcs across the biodome's lush ferns. His pocket knife sliced through the excess, sealing the patch with a quick clamp from salvaged wire. The system hummed back to life. Droplets beaded on his calloused hands. He wiped them on his overalls. Footsteps echoed from the dome's entrance. 2 armored guards in iridescent valve plates strode in, their crests glowing faintly under the grow lamps. "Gardener Hale," the lead guard barked. "Princess Saren summons you. Now." Evan straightened. "Steward's office for the report?" The guard shook his head. "Her private chamber. Move." He followed them through the palace corridors. Marble floors gleamed under hovering orbs. Alien courtiers in flowing robes whispered as they passed, eyes narrowing at the human in dirt-streaked clothes. Dr. Miri Sato waited at the chamber doors. Her embassy badge caught the light. "Evan, keep it low-key," she murmured. "Regent Cal's watching. Chamberlain Roquette too. Don't give them ammo." He nodded. "Just plants." The doors parted with a hiss. Princess Saren Val stood at the chamber's heart, her silver scales shimmering under private glow vines. 4 arms crossed over her chest, tail coiled tight. A wilted ceremonial plant drooped in a crystal pot beside her, its fronds blackening at the edges. "Human," she said, voice like polished crystal. "Fix it." Chamberlain Roquette stepped from the shadows, offering silken perfumer's gloves. "Wear these, Outworlder. The Val bloom demands purity, no contaminants." Evan eyed the gloves, too thick. Useless for feel. "No thanks." He knelt barehanded by the pot. Roquette's mandibles clicked. Insolence. The heir's sacred charge. Saren waved him silent. "Let him work." Evan probed the soil. Damp, but roots rotted. Fungal rot, earth-style. He pulled a frond. Black veins pulsed faintly. Overwatered, wrong minerals. Her eyes, golden slits, widened. Court botanists failed for cycles. They demand excision. He drew his pocket knife, sliced away dead roots, scraped the pot's base clean. From his belt pouch he shook out a pinch of charcoal dust, his emergency mix, sprinkled it in. Roquette leaned closer. "What barbarism is that?" "Adsorbent. Binds the toxins." Evan pressed fresh soil around the healthy roots. Tested moisture with his fingers. "Needs drainage." Air. Saren's tail flicked. Guards shifted at the door. She crossed to the panel, locked it with a palm scan. The chamber sealed. "Court staff cannot know," she said. "Roquette, out. Alert no one." The chamberlain bowed stiffly. "Highness, the regent, out." Roquette vanished through a side panel. Silence fell. Evan kept working, packed gravel chips from his pouch around the roots. "This plant's like our orchids, finicky, but tough." She crouched opposite him, 4 hands hovering. "You touch it without right, without fear. Plants don't care about titles." He stood, dusting his hands. "Water light. Once a cycle, it'll bloom." Her scales flushed deeper silver. "Why you? Why a human farmer?" "Recruited for the biodome. Earth crops grow where yours fail." He shrugged. "Practical." Guards pounded outside. "Highness!" "Open." Saren ignored them, leaned closer. Her scent, ozone and spice, filled his nose. "Courtiers plot. Regent Call eyes my throne. They see you as leverage. A scandal to discredit me." Evan met her gaze. "I'm no pawn. You are here, in my chamber." Midnight. Her uppermost hand brushed his sleeve. Lingered. "They will twist it." He felt heat rise. Her touch electric through fabric. "Then we fix that too." Quiet. She rose, unlocked the door. Guards spilled in, Roquette behind. "Highness, the human must leave," Roquette urged. "Scandal brews." Whispers already. Saren's tail lashed. He saved the Val bloom. Dismissed. Evan slipped past. Miri waited in the hall, eyes sharp. "What happened?" "Plant's fine." He glanced back. Saren watched him go, golden eyes unblinking. Morning light filtered into the biodome. Evan checked his patch. Held strong. Palace vines thrived under human tweaks. Yield up 30%. A shadow fell. Regent Call Valis loomed, flanked by aides. His robes dripped with power chains. Gardener. "Effective work," Evan nodded. Kept pruning. "Just irrigation." Cowell's eyes gleamed. "Princess summons you often now? Privately? Rumors?" Evan sheared a dead leaf. Plants don't rumor. The region chuckled, low. Stay useful, or become leverage. He departed. Evan exhaled, wiped sweat. His knife handle warmed in his grip. That night, guards returned. Same lead. Chamber. Again. Miri intercepted. Evan. Region spies everywhere. Roquettes filing reports. Play invisible. Can't. Dome's stable. They need me. Chamber doors opened. No Roquette. Admess. The Vol bloom perked. Franz greening. You returned, she said. Job's not done. He knelt by new wilted shoots in corner pots. Her private garden. Neglected. She locked the door herself. Courtiers push marriage alliances. Call schemes control. I need discretion. Evan tested soil. Ascetic burn. Lime it. Balance pH. He dosed from his pouch. Her lower hands clasped. You handle life bare. No tools of station. Why? Grew up farming. Earth way. Feel the dirt. Know the fix. He met her eyes. Your way's tech. Precise. But misses the pulse. She stepped closer. Tail brushed his boot. Pulse. Yes. Upper hand touched his wrist. Scales cool against skin. Teach me. He showed her. Her fingers, nimble, mimicked his pinch of lime. Soil shifted under joint work. Guards knocked. Ignored. Roquette's voice filtered. Highness, the human consort rumor spreads. Saren's grip tightened on Evan's wrist. Let them. Heat built. Her golden gaze held his. Trust sparked in the dirt between them. Days blurred. Evan shuttled nights to her chamber, fixed her garden plot by plot. Vol blooms revived. Her scales brightened. Neri cornered him in the dome. Evan, pull back. Cal summoned me. Wants you deported. Political contaminant. Won't fix their plants. She sighed. Saren's bond grows. Dangerous. Night call. Guards urgent. Evan arrived. Saren paced, clutching a blackened root sample. Cowl poisoned it. Subtle toxin. Proof hidden. Evan sniffed, nodded. Arsenic analog. Mine it out. She locked door, drew him to the glow vines. Stay, after. His heart thudded. Court. They hunt leverage. We build ours. Her forearms encircled him. Soft scales met rough hands. Lips, petaled, brushed his. He pulled back. Barely. Trust earned. Through soil, she pressed closer, pounding. Roquette yelled. Intruder! Guards! Door held. Evan gripped his knife. Saren's tail coiled protective. Outside, Call's voice rose. Open. The human threatens succession. Saren smiled fierce. He saves it. Evan stood ready. Her garden thrived behind. Their bridge held. For now, but the lot groaned under assault. The door buckled inward with a metallic screech. Evan tightened his grip on the utility knife, its blade glinting under the glow vines. Saren's tail coiled tighter around his leg. Her forearms braced against the frame. Hold, she hissed. Footsteps thundered outside. Cowl's guards, heavy boots echoing like war drums. A voice boomed through the crack. Princess, yield the intruder! Evan scanned the chamber. Soil trays lined the walls, Vol blooms pulsing faintly. The blackened root sample lay on the work table, its arsenic analog stench faint but deadly. No time for subtlety. He lunged for the hidden panel behind Saren's bed alcove, yanking it open. A service duct gaped, narrow, dust-choked, meant for maintenance drones. Saren's golden eyes flicked to him. Escape? Plants first. He snatched the root sample and a sealed vial of salt crystals from his kit. Guards hammered again. Splinters flew. She nodded, scales rippling with tension. Her top two arms shoved a heavy bench against the door. The bottom pair grabbed spare trays. Go. Evan dove into the duct, crawling fast. Cool air rushed past. He emerged in the biodome's underbelly, heart pounding. No alarms yet. He sprinted to his workbench, laid out the root. Parasites, tiny iridescent worms, writhed in the blackened tissue. Alien blight, feeding on Vol toxins. He mixed a salt wash, crystals dissolved in distilled water, ratio precise from Earth greenhouses. Poured it over the sample. Worms convulsed, dissolving into sludge. Good. He rigged an improvised drainage tray from scrap plasteel and filter mesh, channeling residue into a sealed canister. Proof isolated, toxin confirmed. Footsteps approached the dome entrance. Evan pocketed the canister, smeared dirt on his tunic for cover, slipped into shadows. Dawn light filtered through the palace spires when Saren's summons came. Guards waved him through, official now, under her writ. He entered her private suite via the marked service lift, avoiding main corridors. She waited amid wilted glowvines, attendants fluttering like iridescent moths. Evan Hale, report. He knelt by the central plot, fingers probing soil. Dry, compacted. Root parasites. Salt neutralizes. Drainage prevents return. Attendants chittered. One, a slender Valen with silver scales, leaned in. Human methods, unverified. Saren's tail lashed. Dismissed, all. They bowed, retreating with whispers. The door sealed. Alone, she crouched beside him, her petaled lips curving. Teach me, this touch test you mentioned. Evan hesitated. Her proximity hummed. Scales warm. Scent like spiced earth. Feel the soil. Not sight. Roll it between fingers. She extended 2 arms, dipping into the plot. Soil crumbled. Dry. Brittle. Right. Now wet it. Slow drip. He demonstrated, hands guiding hers. Her scales brushed his skin, soft as velvet. Squeeze. If it holds shape but crumbles easy, perfect. Her golden eyes locked on his. Human sense. Primitive. Brilliant. She pressed closer, testing a clump. Dirt smudged her lower arms. She laughed. A chime like wind through leaves. Heat rose in Evan's chest. Focus. Daily now. No attendance. They tip call. She nodded, tail brushing his boot. Agreed. He stood mapping the suite with a portable scanner. Strict rules. Entry only via service duct. Twice nightly. Dawn exit. Her brow ridges lifted. Hiding. Surviving. He marked a hidden grow area. False wall panel behind her meditation nook, shielded from scans. Here. Vol seeds only. No traces. She traced the outline with a claw. Our garden. Ours. A chime interrupted. Chamberlain alert. Evan froze. Roquette's voice purred from the intercom. Highness. Etiquette audit commences. All non-Valen personnel report to East Wing corridors for inspection. Saren snarled. Trap. Evan checked his chrono. Wrong timing. He'd cut through main halls once. Last night. Shortcut for tools. He knows. Go. Service path. She pushed him toward the duct. He crawled through, emerging in a dim sub-corridor. Footsteps echoed ahead. Roquette's polished form blocked the junction, flanked by 2 auditors, Valen scribes with data slates. Hale. Roquette's scales gleamed oily under lights. Wrong corridor. Servants use subpaths only. Etiquette breach. Evan straightened. Hands visible. Plant delivery. Princess order. Auditors scribbled. Roquette circled, nostrils flaring. No writ. And that scent? Soil? From her private suite? Biodome work. Evan's voice stayed level. Knife in boot, canister in pocket, heavy proof. Roquette leaned in, 4 eyes narrowing. Rumors swell. Human consort. Touching the air, he sniffed. Arsenic traces? Poison handling without clearance? Evan's pulse spiked. 1 wrong word, and it's treason. Routine. Salt wash. Earth salt. Prohibited import. Roquette signaled auditors. Detained for call. Guards advanced. Evan backed toward a side door. Unmarked. Palace maze. Wrong doorway. Alarms blared as it hissed open. Not service. Royal Archive. Roquette crowed. Treason! Human breaches sacred vaults! Evan bolted inside. Hollow scrolls glowed on pedestals, air humming with security fields. He dodged a laser grid. Canister clutched tight. Footsteps pursued. A shadow detached. Dr. Miri Sato, embassy liaison, half hidden behind a console. Evan, this way. She yanked him into a vent shaft, her human hands steady. They tumbled out in the dome. Calls pushing, she whispered, sealing the grate. Roquette engineered the audit. Your salt. Flagged as weapon analog. Won't stop. He held up the canister. Proof her plant's poisoned. Neri's eyes widened. Give me. I'll route to neutral arbiter, but pull back. Saren's bond. It's leverage now. Night fell. Summons again. Evan slipped into the suite via duct, heart heavy. Saren waited, scales brighter. New plot thriving under glow vines. Caught? She asked. Nearly. He unpacked tools, showed her the drainage tray model. Build these. Hidden. Her arms encircled him as he worked. Petaled lips grazed his jaw. Stay. Build with me. Evan's hands stilled on the soil, trussed through dirt. Her tail wound gentle. He leaned in, lips meeting scales. Soft, electric. Pounding at the door, Call's voice thundered. Saren! The audit confirms intrusion. Yield the contaminant. She pulled Evan behind the false panel, sealing it. Our bridge holds, the door groaned. Roquette yelled inside. Highness, he's here. Evan gripped his knife, canister secure. One wrong doorway had ignited the charge. Now, the real assault began. Word count 1287. Evan shoved the false panel aside. He stepped into the chamber's glow. Canister raised high. Call whirled from the door, frills flaring. Roquette froze mid-search, claws clutching a datapad. Human! Cowell bellowed. Surrender the contaminant. Evan locked eyes with the regent. Audit my tools first, publicly. Every noble watches. Roquette's mandibles clicked. Insolence. Guards. Seize him. 2 armored volley lunged. Evan twisted aside, canister tucked under arm. Public inspection, or your audit hides scandals. Call's tail lashed. Whispers rippled from the corridor. Courtiers pressed in, robes shimmering under vine lights. The regent hesitated. A crowd meant witnesses, no quiet framing. Very well, Call growled, to the biodome. Now, Evan marched ahead. Guards flanking, heart steady. Dirt waited. His dirt. The dome's audit chamber hummed. Nobles packed the viewing gallery. Silk-clad elites, eyes gleaming with hunger. Hollow screens flickered. Evan's late-night logs flagged entries. Roquette stood at a podium, token scanner and claw. Intruder hail, Roquette intoned. Your salts mimic nerve agents. Explain. Evan set the canister down, unzipped his kit. Probes, meters, soil cores gleamed. Test it, publicly. Murmurs swelled. A guard snatched the canister. Evan blocked with a soil probe. Full inspection, tools first. Roquette sneered. Delay tactics. Proof, Evan said. He scooped dome soil from a sealed tray, held it to the light. Her Highness's plot. Dying, alkaline lock. pH 8.2. Nobles leaned forward. Volley soil self-balanced via biocrystals. Human methods? Primitive, yet effective. Call crossed arms. Irrelevant. Access revoked. The dome doors hissed. Princess Saren strode in, crown vines pulsing green. Unannounced. Guards snapped salutes. Father Regent, she said, voice silk over steel. Evan Hale serves as my assigned biodome consultant. Revoke nothing. Roquette's frills drooped. Highness, the logs. Show me. Saren glided to the tray. Her tail brushed Evan's boot. Accidental. Electric. Evan seized the moment. Goal, justify access. He grabbed a pH meter, dipped it in the soil sample. Locks nutrients. Roots. Starve. Nobles gasped. Volleytech scanned broad spectra. Humans measured direct. Correct it, Saren commanded. Trust in her gaze. Evan nodded. Sprinkled salt from the canister. Precise grams. Added chelate mix. Stirred with a trowel. Acidify. pH drops to 6.5. Optimal. He poured water. Meter beeped. Reading shifted. Live hollow projected it. Line plunging green. The plot sample perked. Leaves unfurled. Gasps echoed. Impossible, a noble muttered. No recalibration needed. Evan scooped fresh soil. Your crystals failed. Poison trace. Alkaloids from Roquette's fertilizer batch. Roquette's claws whitened on the podium. Lies. Test it. Evan held out the core. A neutral arbiter stepped forward. Dr. Mirisado, embassy badge flashing. She scanned, nodded. Confirmed. Contaminant matches court stock. Sarian's scales brightened. My consultant stays. Late nights included. Call's eyes narrowed. Temporary. Succession demands purity. Nobles buzzed. Evan packed tools. Saren's gaze lingered. Warmth hidden in protocol. Roquette sidled close during dispersal. Claw brushed Evan's belt. Token vanished into his sleeve. Private chat. Dawn. My chambers. Evan felt the absence. Interrogation loomed, but the dirt had spoken. Miri caught him at the dome exit, bold. But Roket's token theft?
He's scheduling you solo. Won't go blind.
Evan checked vents. Saren's signal pulsed on his wrist private channel. Build tonight? Affirm, she replied. Voice low. Our bridge strengthens. He slipped into shadows. Guards patrolled tighter. Roket's play. Isolate. Break. Evan's counter. More dirt. Deeper proof. Dawn neared. Evan crouched in a service duct. New token cloned from Miri's hack. Roket's chambers waited. But first, Saren's suite. One hidden drainage tray. Her arms around him. Last time. Scales to skin. Lips electric. Pounding echoed below. Hail. Report. He gripped the canister duplicate. Court shamed him with audits. He turned soil to evidence. Now, steal it back. The vent grate overlooked Roket's anteroom. Voices drifted. Call in the Chamberlain. Token plants the trail. Roket said. Human vanishes. Princess falls. Cowell chuckled. Clean succession. Evan's blood chilled, proof in hand. Assault escalated. He dropped silently. Knife out. Time to garden thorns. Evan's boots hit the polished floor without a sound. Shadows cloaked him. Roket stood 10 paces away, back turned, murmuring to Call's hologram. The Chamberlain's claws tapped a data slate. Evan's knife gleamed. Short, serrated, perfect for pruning stubborn roots. He lunged. Roket spun. Eyes widening. Human filth. Evan slammed into him. Knife pressed Roket's throat scales. The alien buckled. Data slate clattered. Call's hologram flickered out. Token, Evan growled. Now. Roket hissed. Claws scraped Evan's wrist. You dare? Evan twisted the blade. A thin line of violet blood welled. Dare more if you make me. The Chamberlain's free claw dipped into his sleeve. Token emerged, identical to the stolen one, etched with Saren's private sigil. Evan snatched it. Clone duplicate stayed in his pocket. Confess, Roket spat. Admit tampering the dome yields. Exile awaits. Wealth on a fringe world. Evan shoved him back. Confess your plot first. Roket lunged for a wall panel. Alarm whooped. Service hatches slammed shut. Evan dodged. Claws raked air. A side door irised open. Service alcove, narrow and dim. Roket barreled in, dragging Evan by the collar. Locks clicked from the outside. Evan pounded the seamless wall. Bastard, Roket's voice filtered through. Sign the slate. Frame the princess. Or rot here till guards drag your corpse. Evan scanned the alcove. Ventilation grate above, barely wide enough. Tool belt hung heavy. Twine, shears, spare bells from dome repairs. He wedged the knife into the grate's seam. Metal groaned. Grate popped free. He hauled himself up. Ducts hummed cold. Faint glow from his wrist calm. Saren's channel. He tapped. Trapped. Roket alcove off his anteroom. No reply. Minutes ticked. Boots echoed outside. Evan crawled deeper. Fork ahead. Left to palace core. Right to royal suites. He chose right. Ducts narrowed. Scales of alien architecture pressed close. Sweat stung his eyes. A junction grate overlooked Saren's antechamber. She paced below, gown swirling like captured storm clouds. Evan kicked the grate. It clattered down. Saren whirled. Evan! He dropped, landed in a crouch. Guards burst in from the hall. Her detail. Lock the doors, she ordered. Roket ambushed him. Guards complied. Bolts thudded home. Evan straightened. Offered the token. Proof. He and Cowell plot your fall. Saren's claws closed around it. Warmth lingered in her grip. You retrieved it. Alone? Miri's hack. Her scales flushed deeper blue, reckless, vital. Guards hauled Roket in moments later. Bound, snarling. Saren faced him. Treason confirmed. Cells await. Roket sneered. Human pawn! Succession demands purity. Impurity ends you. Saren waved him away. Chamber cleared. She turned to Evan. Eyes locked. You sleep here tonight. Antechamber or security. Evan blinked. Your space? Mine. Her tail brushed his hand. Electric. No arguments. He nodded. Practical. Exposed in servant quarters now. Antechamber glowed soft. Cushions. Low tables. Viewport to the biodome. Evan unpacked his belt. Twine spool unrolled, small bells from his kit, salvaged from Earth hydroponics. Ventilation grates dotted the walls, linking to halls. Saren watched from her chamber door. What do you build? Early warning. He strung twine taut across the main grate. Tied a bell cluster. Airflow would jiggle it loose on intrusion. Second line lower. Trip sensor for crawlers. Shears snipped precise lengths. Cheap, effective. Her crest flared. Alien tech scans for blades. Fields. Yours, simple. Unseen. Dirt doesn't lie. Neither does twine. He tested the line. Bell tinkled soft, adjusted tension. She stepped closer. Scales gleamed under light. Courtiers hunt leverage. You are mine now. Evan tied off the last knot. Stood. Yours how? She extended her claws. The vow. Retainer bond. Guided his hand. 4 fingers interlocked with her 3 claw tips pressing palm pads. Thumbs crossed. Press here. Speak. By soil and sky I shield the line. He mirrored. Warmth spread. By soil and sky I shield the line. Scales met skin. Bond. Sealed. Her breath hitched, pulled him closer. Lips. Soft ridges. Brushed his. Heat. Bloomed. Door chime interrupted. Dr. So. Miri Sato slipped in. Embassy badge flashing. Evan, you idiot. Roquette's howling treason. Your name on every feed. Saren released him slow. He serves me now. Vowed retainer. Miri's eyes widened. That's binding. Court law. Evan flexed his hand. Mark tingled. Good. Keeps me off the auction block. Miri unpacked a scanner. Vital stable, but calls summoning you dawnside. Audit the dome. Saren's tail lashed. He comes with me, protected. Miri nodded, smart. Evan's tricks bought time. Cloned. Token. Genius low-tech. Evan repacked tools. Alarm lines hummed quiet. Not genius. Farmer stuff. Varmints back home chew wires. Bells scare 'em off. Saren traced the twine. Varmints yield to you. Courtiers will too. Miri smirked. HFY at work. Humans improvise. We excel at edges. Dawnlight filtered through the viewport. Evan stretched on the antechamber pallet, bells silent. Saren emerged, regal in layered silks. Call waits. We face him. Evan rose. Knife sheathed, token duplicate secure. Lead. They strode halls. Guards flanked. Whispers trailed. Princess and dirt grubber. Vowed. Call's chamber loomed. Doors parted. Regent sat enthroned. Roquette chained aside. Chamberlain glared daggers. Human. Cowl rumbled. Your meddling disrupts yields. Evan met his gaze. Calm. Yields thrive. Check the logs. Saren laid the token on the table. Planted evidence. Roquettes. Call's crest drooped. Fabrication. Evan pulled his duplicate. Identical etchings. Match it. Mine's clean. Courtiers gasped. Call snatched both. Scanner's word. Clone. Impossible without codes. Possible, Saren said, with loyalty. Kaol leaned forward. Claws steepled. Retainer, you bind a gardener? Evan stepped up. Vowed gesture flashed. Interlocked fingers, by soil and sky. Silence crashed. Call's eyes narrowed. Bold. Useful. Roquette thrashed. Leverage. Exile him. Saren's hand found Evan's shoulder. Scales to fabric. He stays. Builds more. Cow waved dismissal. Proceed. But watch him. Doors sealed. Hall empty. Saren exhaled. Victory small. A circle. Evan checked wristcom. Dome feeds green. Plant deeper. Thorns grow. She pulled him into shadow. Lips met again. Fiercer. Bond pulsed. Our bridge holds. Alarms stayed silent, but locks whispered promises. They called it protection. Footsteps echoed distant. Tighter patrols. Call's game shifted. Tolerate, then claim. Evan strung mental twine. More bells needed. Court weeds choked fast. Miri commit. Roquette's allies muster. Fake audits incoming. Saren's claw tightened. Together. Evan nodded. Evan gripped his wristcom. Miri's warning blinked red. He tapped reply. Details? Saren's scales brushed his arm. Audits target yields. Claim human taint. Footsteps clumped closer. Patrol boots. Evan pulled her deeper into shadow. Breath synced. Her crest flattened against his chest. Silence stretched. Boots faded. Now, Evan whispered. He slipped free. Led her down service corridors. Dome access hummed ahead. Doors hissed open. Vines curled under grow lamps. Fruits swelled fat. Hybrids no Val agronomist matched. Evan knelt. Checked soil moisture. Perfect. Saren scanned readouts. Roquette's web tightens. Allies pose as inspectors. Find flaw. Demand your exile. Evan uncoiled twine from his kit. Thin, near invisible. He strung it knee-high across paths. Dusted with fine pollen. His marker. Pollen clings boots. Glows under UV. Her eyes widened. Claws flexed. Earth cunning. Simple. Deadly. He nodded. Tide bells. Tiny. Tuned low. Wind ignored them. Footfall rang clear. Layered like crop rows. She watched. Crest rose. Teach me. Evan handed twine. Their fingers locked. Bond hummed. He guided her knots. Scales met calluses. Steady. Alarm stayed quiet, but his gut twisted. Court weeds rooted deep. Miri burst through side hatch. Human stride brisk. Evan, princess. She bowed sharp. Auditors inbound dawn. Calls nod. They'll probe domes. Contamination smears. Evan straightened. Logs clean. Samples ready. Miri-eyed twine. Good. But politics. Roquette's faction pushes security breach. Your tools in shrine? Forgotten? Saren hissed. Planted. We proved it. Proof burned, Miri said. New faces. Fresh lies. Evan pulled soil cores. Labeled. Time-stamped. Residue maps it. Shrine soil mismatches dome. Alkaline spike. Miri grinned. HFY baseline. They underestimate dirt. Saren's hand found Evan's back. Warmth spread. Rest. I stand watch. Dome quieted. Lamps dimmed to moon glow. Evan bunked on cot. Saren settled nearby. Silk robes pooled. Her form elongated. Limbs graceful. Tail coiled loose. Sleep evaded. He rose. Watered rose. She joined. Silent. Why Earth? She asked. Voice soft. Evan paused. Hoe in hand. Dirt doesn't lie. Plant right, it gives back. She traced a leaf. Voltec forces growth. Chemicals, failures mount. He demonstrated. Companion plants, marigolds warding pests, beans, fixing nitrogen. Partners, not slaves. Her gaze held. Like us. Bond tugged. Evan set Hoe aside. Stepped close. Her breath hitched. Claws grazed his jaw. Gentle, lips met. Salt sweet, tongues tentative. Fire built. She pulled back. Crest flushed violet. Forbidden. Still, Evan cupped her face. Claimed now. Dawn alarms chimed soft. Auditors arrived. Chamberlain's proxy led. Vesper. Slick robes, scanner wand. 2 guards, Regent's seal gleamed. Inspect. Vesper snapped. Wand swept vines. Human error. Yields drop. Evan activated holologs. Graphs spiked green. Up 27%. Check. Vesper sneered. Probed soil. Contaminants. Evan handed cores. Test. Wand beeped. Clean. Vesper faltered. Anomaly? Saren stepped forward. Lies again. Like shrine. Vesper's crest spiked. Gardener risks throne. Exile him. Guards shifted. Evan felt twine taut under boot. Pollen trail glowed faint on Vesper's soul. UV click. Evan swept light. Tracks lit. From service door, not his path. Intruder, Evan said. Calm. Pointed residue. Shrine match. Alkaline. Your boot. Vesper froze. Wiped frantic. Pollen smeared. Courtiers murmured. Miri smirked aside. Saren's voice cut steel. Proof. Second breach. Demand inquiry. Full. Vespar paled. Misstep. No. Saren gripped Evan's arm. Public. Witnesses gaped. He is bound. Retainer. Partner. Soil and sky. Bond flashed. Fingers interlocked. Evan matched. Firm. Vespar backed. Regent decides. Doors parted. Call entered. Unannounced. crest neutral. Report, Saren thrust core, framing. Again, Roquette's echo, call scanned. Eyes narrowed on pollen. Human trace? Evan nodded. Practical. Sticks. Call rumbled. Competence. Not meddling. Claws tapped throne arm. Inquiry granted. Auditors dismissed. Vespar bowed stiff. Retreated. Saren exhaled. Evan felt her tremble. Slight. Call's gaze lingered. Bond holds. For now. Yields bind tighter. He waved exit. Dome sealed. Alone. Miri clapped Evan's shoulder. Alive. Again. Saren pulled him close. Lips fierce. No shadows now. Open. Bond pulsed stronger. Evan kissed back. Hands roamed scales. Heat built. Calm buzzed. Miri. Call summons. Private. Saren broke kiss. Claw tightened. Trap. Evan checked twine. Intact. Or test. They moved. Corridor lights flickered. Whispers trailed. Call waited in antechamber, alone. No Roquette chains. Princess. Gardener. Call's voice low. Bond public. Factions howl. Leverage shifts. Saren stiffened. He strengthens throne. Call leaned. Claws gleamed. Or weakens. Human secrets. Earth sends more. Evan met eyes. Just me. Plants. Cowl's crest twitched. Amused? Yields prove. But shrine breach. Roquette confessed under scan. Your traces cleared him. Liar's pause. Evan smelled it. Alkaline faint on Call's robes. Regent, Evan said. Your path? Cowl stilled. Bold tongue. Saren hissed warning. Evan pulled pollen vial. Dusted air. Glow caught. Cowl's hem. Shrine match. Silence crushed. Call laughed. Deep. Gardener sees. Crest drooped. Respect. Not Roquette. Test you. Saren gasped. You? Throne needs strength. Call. Rose. You pass. Build. Deeper. He swept out. Doors sealed. Evan dusted hands. Weeds everywhere. Saren clutched him. Our bridge. Solid. But com pinged. Miri. Allies rally. Succession vote forced. Tomorrow. Alarms hummed distant. New patterns needed. Faster. Her lips claimed his. Desperate. Dome vines witnessed. Bond wove tighter. Court storm brewed. Evan's dirt held firm, for now.